As I've been saying, the long national nightmare is over. Robert Mueller has ended his investigation and submitted his report to the Attorney General of the United States, William Barr, who has alerted Congress to the fact that he does have the report by Mr. Mueller and that he even expects to be able to brief Congress on the main conclusions of the Mueller report as soon as this weekend, which further suggests that there is nothing in the Mueller report that President Trump has to worry about beyond, I would suspect, some smears or backhanded material that the anti-Trumpers on Mueller's team inserted into the material. But the Mueller report certainly, given the fact there are no reported indictments to be had as a result of this report, no additional indictments at least, is a massive vindication for the President of the United States. Now, like I said, I don't know what the details of the report are, but there's been no Russia collusion, or no Russia collusion indictments of anyone on the campaign. As I've been saying here repeatedly, the Mueller investigation has been a zombie investigation for well over a year and several months since the major indictments, or seemingly major indictments, of Russia-affiliated persons and companies who were indicted for hacking Democrats and improperly involving themselves, according to Mueller, in the presidential campaign. Those indictments showed no knowing involvement of any American with the Russians. So there has been the basic reason for being for the Mueller operation kind of ended a year or so ago. But since then, we've had low-rent indictments of people like Manafort and prosecutions like Manafort, Roger Stone, General Flynn obviously got caught up as well, but nothing substantial in terms of President Trump, who obviously never colluded with the Russians. And of course, everyone already knew that. The Democrats who funded the collusion hoax document called the dossier in league with the Clinton campaign, they knew it was false. The FBI knew it was false. James Comey knew it was false. Rod Rosenstein knew it was false. Peter Strzok knew it was false. Lisa Page knew it was false. Everyone knew there was no corroboration to this dossier that had been created by the political operation of Hillary Clinton. So the president was vindicated tonight. Hillary Clinton lost again tonight because this is her investigation as much as the Democratic National Committee and the Democrats in Congress's investigation. But Robert Mueller, despite having the resources of all of the United States government at his disposal, could not find any evidence of Russia collusion warranting an indictment. That much is clear. Now, I don't know what the details of it are, but we're going to probably get something out of the report that Democrats will try to put a hook into, and the media will try to put a hook into to suggest further investigation. But it's over. It's over for as far as the major Russia hoax investigation. It's over. Everything else is going to be further harassment of Mr. Trump, as I've been highlighting. But the hoax has been exposed as a big fraud, because this dossier that was the basis for spying on President Trump, the basis for generating the investigation that led to the creation of the special counsel operation, nothing has come from that. Nothing has come out of that. And I'm just going to be straightforward here. When the allegations of Russia collusion have been made, they were made in a knowingly false way by those making them. They all knew there was nothing there, yet they pursued it anyway and abused power to pursue it. So what happens next? If I were the Attorney General, I would err on the side of disclosure. As you know, I never thought much of the Mueller report. I didn't think there should be another dossier harassing the president out of the Justice Department. But you know, the train was moving forward, and they did what they did. So I would err on the side of transparency there, while protecting the interests that the law requires of individuals and innocents who were caught up in the Mueller machine. But on top of that, though, the president now should take this as an opportunity to go on a transparency tear, which is to release all the other information that Judicial Watch has been suing for, some members of Congress and have been asking for, all the text, the rest of the FISA corruption documents, other documents that have been withheld because there's been this alleged ongoing investigation by Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller has been a terrible distortion. His operation has been a terrible distortion on our government, on the Justice Department, and on the presidency. It's kind of like this black hole that's kind of distorted everything around it. And now that the Mueller operation is over, that King Mueller has stepped down, maybe we can get back to some normalcy in terms of crime fighting out of the Justice Department and the FBI, because that's supposedly what they're supposed to be doing, isn't it? Are they going to start doing a criminal investigation of those who abuse their offices for political purposes to target President Trump illegally? Are there going to be serious investigation of the leaks? That needs to be the focus of what Mr. Barr needs to do. But getting back down to it, though, whatever the details are of the Mueller report, it's pretty clear there was never any evidence, credible evidence of collusion. There was never a good faith basis to pursue it. And now there needs to be accountability for this abuse of power that we've had to sit through and suffer through as a nation for 2+ years. Actually, it's longer than that, since the investigation into President Trump, or then candidate Trump, began in 2016, maybe as early as 2015, as soon as he started making noises about running for the presidency. So I want accountability for those who abuse power as part of this coup effort against President Trump. Remember, the Mueller operation was corruptly formed. It was the result of communications between Rod Rosenstein and Andrew McCabe, the then acting FBI director, after Comey was fired. They were talking about invoking the 25th Amendment illicitly, wearing a wire in the Oval Office, and appointing a special counsel. And the reason they were talking about appointing a special counsel was because James Comey, the fired FBI director, had stolen President Trump's FBI reports and then leaked them illegally to the New York Times. He says, he admits, he leaked them in order to get a special counsel appointed. So you've had this, been saddled with this corruptly formed special counsel for 2 years, and now it's over. It's almost 2 years. I guess it was May of 2017. And now it's over. But Judicial Watch isn't finished, because Judicial Watch has lawsuits about the way Mueller operated. Judicial Watch has lawsuits about potential leaks Mueller had. We have lawsuits about the FISA process. We have lawsuits about the targeting of President Trump, the unmaskings. Remember the unmaskings? Where intelligence documents, Americans caught up in foreign intelligence, had their privacy violated and leaked. There's a lot of accountability to be had. And I don't know if Attorney General Barr is going to keep on overturning rocks, or will he begin to turn over the rocks in the Justice Department? It doesn't really matter to us. I mean, we want him to do the right thing because we're going to do it anyway. That's what we do using the Freedom of Information Act. Well over 40 lawsuits at this point to uncover the deep state assault on President Trump, which I fear won't end. We've talked about Congress having 81 document requests targeting President Trump. They want to abuse the law to rifle through his IRS records. The Southern District of New York, which is run by deep staters because the political appointee at the U.S. Attorney level has recused himself, continues to harass President Trump. You have the State Attorney General of New York investigating just because they can his business. So the harassment will continue. But the special counsel investigation, which was the most significant attack on the president, is over. So that's something that we can celebrate in the sense that the victimization in that regard is over, but there still needs to be accountability for what went on.